And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The Union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mass Effect. Last time we spoke with Liara, so I think we're just going to continue on, and we're going to speak with the rest of the crew. So let's go ahead and head down the elevator and talk to some of the people we haven't actually spoken with before. They kind of got missed out the last time we were doing our little tour of the ship. So yeah, let's speak with our good friend Garrus Vicarian over here, our former CSEC member who joined us at, when we were trying to take down Fist.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Oh, really?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
So, of course, this comment makes a lot of sense coming from Garrus, because if you remember that the first time we spoke with him, he said that he was close to finding information about Saren, but was being held back by red tape and regulations and things like that. And we know that ultimately he was correct. That Saren was up to no good, but he wasn't able to follow it because of CSEC procedures, and so that's why he's having the second thoughts like this. So we get an option of how we're going to respond to that. Let's see. It's not that bad. You shouldn't complain, or true. So Yelena clearly wouldn't be a lawful good, to use the D&D term, type of person, because she agreed to become a Spectre, operate more or less outside the law. But I think she would acknowledge the need for rules for civilians. Because even Spectres can go rogue. They're not. So no one's really above corruption, and you kind of need the rules there sometimes.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
Really?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Okay. I can kind of see that. It definitely bungled the Saren investigation.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
And so again, we get an option. We can either encourage him to do whatever it takes, or be non-committal, or to actually take a more restrained approach, which I think we're going to pick here.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
So yeah, that's Garrus. He follows a fairly typical cop story. He didn't like seeing the bad guys get away too often, and so he wants to try things differently for a little while. So that's why he joined up with us. So we'll get to see his progression and how his views might change as we go forward. So let's go over here and talk with Ashley. She's been coming with us on most of our missions. She's our frontliner.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Well, we just spoke with her, and we know that Asari might not necessarily have the same relationship that humans have, and it seems that Liara's relationship with her mother was even strange by Asari standards. So yeah, I mean, it kind of fits.
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
It is impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Okay. So, Caden.
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Obviously hinting at us as that someone. So yeah, we can we can just sort of shoot her down, stick to ranks, but I imagine Leolena kind of wants to get to know Ashley. She's the only other female soldier we really get to interact with. So yeah, it's worth getting to know her a little bit better.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
And so we get some options for some more information about that. So let's ask her about where was her dad?
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I met Chief. First thing he did was salute.
So I wonder why her father never got promoted very high.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
Okay.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
I sense a story there.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, 'cause he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
They all learned self-defense? Okay.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
I bet.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Nice.
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Fair enough. Sounds like an impressive bunch.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Okay, so here we get to one of the other reasons why a lot of people don't like Ashley too much. She does quote a lot of poetry when we're speaking to her, and yes, there's more poetry if we're male shepherd and pursuing a romantic route. But you know, there you go.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
Okay.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Are you a fanatic? Really? I guess I could see that being an assumption people might make here in the future out here in space. Not my place to judge. I mean, yeah, go not my place to judge. I mean, Elena's seen a lot of stuff. I don't think she necessarily believes in God too much.
Your beliefs are your business. I'm your commanding officer, not your moral compass.
I appreciate that, Skipper. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Cool. So we got a little bit more on Ashley's story. Learned that she's got a bunch of younger sisters that she helped bring up. Her dad was a career military man, but apparently he didn't get promoted very often. But sounds like he was a very hard worker. So I'm not sure what the story is there, or if there is a story. But it's very clear why Ashley joined up with the military. You know, she joined up because of her father. Wanted to carry on the family line, I guess. And Ashley does quote poetry a lot, and a lot of times it does seem to come out of nowhere, really. Which, does add depth to her to her story. But like in that in that conversation we just did, it can feel a little bit forced, which does sort of detract from her the overall quality of her story, I think, sometimes. But I think we're gonna leave it there. We'll come back next time, and we will speak with Tally down here in the engine room, and get to know her a little bit, and then I think we'll head back out into the galaxy and maybe do some side quests. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.